That cop's getting agitated. They're starting to fight with him. Hell yeah, get on there.
In the 1990s, collectible card games became a big thing. Mostly because of Magic, but then all kinds of them sprung up. There were dozens and dozens of collectible card games. Pokemon came along at the end of the 90s in the United States. But in the mid-90s, around 1994, there was a game that caught my attention, and it was Illuminati New World Order. INWO for short, like in this book. See, they even made a whole book on how to play it. And apparently I got it at Pegasus Games for $16.95. Hope I got a good student discount. Oh look, and there's a booster pack in there. This outlined what all the cards were and strategies and stuff. All good stuff. But let's take a look at some of this. They came in these starter decks, and of course there was limited edition, and then there was an unlimited edition as well. Of course, you know, marketing. And of course the booster packs. There's the limited edition booster pack, and there was the unlimited edition booster pack. Yeah, I guess they thought the gold would attract more. I don't understand what any of that was. And then here's some of the cards inside. I can't remember what the difference was. There's something on the face of the cards. I'll go over the cards in a bit. Then there was an additional expansion, I guess. That was Assassins. So, Illuminati New World Order Assassins booster pack. That only came in booster packs. There wasn't starter decks of that. And the only other language I'm aware of that it was published in was German. Somehow Steve Jackson Games had some German connections. Apparently Pegasus Press. See, it's not published by Steve Jackson, Pegasus. But this is the Illuminati Neue Weltordnung Booster Packen, the German version. So that was fun. It was kind of a quest to get German cards, because there were a few exclusive German cards that were not in the American printing of it. So it looks like I got myself a starter deck and a couple of German booster packs. But let's get into it. What the heck is this anyways? So the whole premise here is that the world is really run by the Illuminati. Some secret groups that are just pulling the strings and manipulating everything. And I have all of the Illuminatis here. Is this? Yeah. So they look like this. So Adepts of Hermes. So the world could be run by them. The Bavarian Illuminati. The Bermuda Triangle. Apparently that's an Illuminati. The Discordian Society. I've got a couple of those, it appears. Gnomes of Zurich. Oops, let's see. I have other ones in here. I must. I'm digging into my vault here. It's been like so long since I played any of this. This is crazy. I don't even remember exactly how the rules go. So yeah, okay. So we've got the network. Remember, this was the mid-1990s. The internet was just becoming a thing. Servants of Cthulhu. I think that was the one that I concentrated on more, because I was going more into the goth stuff. And Shangri-La. All peaceful-like. The idea was you took one of these, and you played that in the center of the table. Can I get this? Let me see, where's my Cthulhu? Play that in the center. You notice how it's got arrows going off it. So those arrows indicate what this Illuminati is going to be controlling directly. I should maybe reposition the camera here. On your turn, you have a bunch of choices of what to do as usual. But you could put down a card that was controlled by that. So close to the Illuminati, you would want to have a powerful card that could also control lots of others. So for example, I could put down multinational oil companies. So that controlling arrow of Cthulhu goes right into the multinational oil companies, which in turn has 3 arrows pointing out, so it can control 3 other things. Now, if instead I put something like this, if I put NASA, you see NASA there? NASA can be controlled by the Illuminati, but it only has 1 arrow going out. So I'm not going to expand my network across the world very far with that one. And even worse, if I were to take something like this, put it there, see, it's only got the arrow going in, none going out, so that's a dead end. Nephews of God. I mean, these all have their advantages, and there's reasons you'd have them, but you'd put something like this farther down the line away from the Illuminati, and something like that really close to the Illuminati. Now, these are great fun. There's some cute artwork on here. Actually, a lot of the artwork on some of these, I think maybe it's just in the Assassins expansion, I'll have to look it up, but were by John Kovalic, who became a lot more famous doing artwork for Munchkin. But he also had his own comic books, Dork Tower, good stuff. I've met the guy, he lives here in Madison. So some interesting cards to point out that I've read some articles. People thought, oh, this was something. There was this one, the terrorist nuke, which people say, oh my gosh, that looks like what happened on 9/11 with the Twin Towers. Now, of course, it wasn't a nuke, but hey, isn't that uncanny? This predated that by 5 years. Weird, huh? And there's this one. We all know about this now. I guess it's not as prophetic as if it would have said pandemic, but hey, epidemic. And of course the 1990s were no strangers to epidemics and pandemics, what with AIDS and all. But there was that. Global warming. Of course now they call it global climate change. Hey, it's still real. One of my favorites, Stonehenge. Always had that in my deck. It's a dead end, but it's a pretty powerful card. Hey, 90s kids, remember this? 1,000 points of light. Yeah. Bill Clinton. Couldn't have a 90s without that. And Hillary Clinton. Another one I always had in my deck, the Necronomicon. Super powerful artifact, especially when paired with certain characters like the vampires. And this, now the same article I was reading about how this prophesized everything, said that this was someone who became president semi-recently. Go figure. Now all that's well and fine. Just show you a couple other things I got. Look at this. Near the end, when they were getting ready to shut down the whole thing, I got the One with Everything factory set. Contains one of everything, including some exclusives that were only released in certain magazines, and it is now way out of print. And I see I never opened it, and it's probably a good thing. I think I could get some big bucks for this on eBay right now if I wanted to.
I left an upper decker in the executive restroom.
And speaking of big bucks on eBay, there's one other thing I got, because I've pretty much got the whole deal, unless there were a few singles I missed in the booster packs. But this was sold as a separate standalone game, but it also integrated perfectly with everything. It's the Illuminati Subgenius Edition, featuring Bob Dobbs, the leader of the Church of the Subgenius. That was a whole other distraction going on. Underground pop culture of the 90s, as it was. So look at this. So here we have the Church of the Subgenius as an Illuminati. And there's Bob. But then there are all these different versions. So if you played this as a standalone, you'd all be Illuminati, Church of the Subgenius, just different faces of it. And this had some fun stuff in it. Some of it unique to all of that fandom. But Random Jesse. Rant. But this also goes for quite a bit on eBay. One of these guys. So there's my Illuminati card game. Let's look at some of the German cards real quick. The German cards. See what we got here. Las Vegas. What's next? Yeah, okay. Brazil. Infobahn. Anyway, so there's some German ones. Illuminati, New World Order.